You're watching the North Carolina Players Show on Fan Media Network. Want to welcome back George Lynch, starter on the 1993 Carolina National Championship team and longtime NBA player. I see the Laker jersey in the background there, George. Proud Laker, proud Sixer, proud Tar Heel. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Let's look back. Last week, Carolina at NC State. They lose 79-76. A rare loss to NC State by a Roy Williams coach team. I think it's the only second loss at NC State for Roy Williams. What were your takeaways from that game?
My takeaways was the same thing we talked in the previous edit, that can we guard perimeter players on opposing teams? Our big guys seemed to dominate inside. Our guards had a little trouble with turnovers. We had 18 turnovers for the game to their 14. The foul situation was just were pretty much even. And most Carolina teams, we try and shoot more free throws than or make more free throws than the other team attempt, and we didn't do a good job of that in that game at State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I thought that without DJ Funderburk, we'd have a real good chance of pounding it inside and taking advantage of our size, but that wasn't the case. I think you got to give a lot of credit to Manny Bates for the young big man for NC State. He had 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 blocks. He's really good, athletic. And the freshman, Shaquille Moore, came up with 17 points, had a John Starks type baseline dunk that was very impressive. They were aggressive. From the beginning, got us on our heels. I think it's a lot of people ask me, why has Carolina gotten off to a slow start in a lot of their games? And what would your answer be?
I think it's the young player, the guards. I guess the good thing about it is we're not playing in packed arenas, or the scores might be a little uglier. But I think it's the young player, the guards. We're starting 2 freshmen at the point guard spot. We got a freshman coming off the bench. And in all the Carolina teams I've been a part of my 4 years, and the teams have been very successful, the guard play has been tremendous. I mean, it's almost like the extension of the coach on the floor, and we're struggling with that right now.
Yeah, no, I think that's evident. You know, again, you talked about the assists and the turnovers, 15 assists, 18 turnovers. On a stat sheet, you'd want that 2-to-1 for good teams. You'd want it to be 15-7, 15-8. The way we kept them with Coach Smith, where he'd give you a half of an assist for a post feed, you want that to be 3-to-1. So that is definitely a problem. And then the other problem is the 3-point shooting. Less than 17% from the 3-point line. We gave up 8 of 17 from the 3-point line, almost 50%. So let's start on the defensive end, George. You're a coach, you're a player in the NBA. The 3-point shot is such an important part of the game nowadays. How were you coached to defend the 3-point line as a player in the NBA? And how did you coach defending the 3-point line when you were coaching at Clark?
Well, first it started, watching the scouting report. If a kid was a 3-point shooter, we try to limit his touches or run him off the 3-point line. And that takes a lot of communication, because most 3-point shooters are going to come off screens. We got to be able to communicate, whether the bigs have to show. We have to know our personnel. Secondly, once you get them off the 3-point line, if they miss, 50% of their shots. We got to secure that rebound, because that's the easiest 3-point shot in the game. When the big get a rebound and he kicks it back out for a 3, those almost kills the team spirit and mental makeup, especially with a young team.
What about a a drive from the slot? So the slot is basically the position between the top of the key and the wing. And you have a drive towards the box, and there's a shooter in the corner. How were you coached to defend that shooter in the corner?
You stay home.
Stay
and
home.
I think that's the other challenge. You know, Coach Smith always stressed, and Larry Brown, try not to get beat off the first bounce.
Right.
If you can't keep your guy in front of you on the first bounce, it's almost impossible for your teammates to give you help. And I think that may be the other area we're struggling in.
Yeah. I think the thing that you just touched on, Coach Smith used to talk about early help, early recovery to a good shooter. And so that's what I teach. You know, a guy was a shooter in the corner. You had a baseline drive. Like we played against some great Duke teams in 2001. They had Dunleavy. They had Jay Williams. They had Shane Battier. I mean, they could really shoot the three-pointer. Chris Duhon. And so we told them, fake and recover. I want you to slow down the ball handler, but I don't want that three-point shooter to have a catch and shoot rhythm three. So I'd rather, with Brendan Haywood inside, and we have size, I'd rather that perimeter player hesitate, thinking the help's coming, and then continue his drive, and then shoot a tough two over size, and then we obviously hopefully secure the rebound, then having help slide 10 feet off a corner three and kick it, and the guys, you know, that's the easy shot in basketball. That's warm-ups. So I think that's an adjustment that I would love to see us make.
Yeah, and those are defensive principles. I'm sure coaches watching a lot of film and stressing that in practice, because with young players, they tend to want to be out of position from the start. Then they're thinking too much, and then they're late on the stunt to get back. And if you hugged up to your man and then you try to help and get back, it's almost going to be too late.
Yeah. By the way, nice polo quarter zip. Yeah.
I had to get in my Carolina spirit today.
No, I like it. We didn't even talk about that. All right, let's see what else with the NC State game. The other thing that really stood out to me is Garrison Brooks is struggling. And I don't know if you sense that, but I wonder why. Thoughts?
I think sometimes when your young guards are erratic, don't know when they're going to shoot the ball. You know, Garrison is normally, scores within the offense. He's know when he's going to get his post feeds. He knows when his shot is going to go up, so he can get his offense, get position for offensive rebound. I think with the young guards and that's playing now, he's going to struggle the first part of the ACC, because he doesn't know when these guys are going to take shots. The guys don't know when to take shots within the offense, and you can see him struggling, probably getting a little frustrated. And if I was him as a senior, I'll have to pull a couple of them guards to the side.
Like you said last show, grab them around the shirt collar.
Exactly. You gotta have some type of control. You don't want to take the aggressiveness from them, but when a set is called, you got to run it all the way through.
Yeah. I don't think the young players are trusting the offense, and you can see it because you and I have played in that offense. So we see when there's secondary break and the back screener is supposed to pop to the foul line to get the ball, and then the two bigs are supposed to cross screen underneath, and then the weak wing, it should just stay at home, but he gets impatient and he runs to the top of the key to get the ball. I think I saw Love do that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Then I look over to the bench to see the coach's reaction, because you know that they're like, no, you're not. Then like you said, the upperclassmen lose faith and trust. I talk a lot in leadership about trust, respect, trust, and commitment, and they they don't trust each other. Those freshmen don't trust the offense. They may not know the offense. And so as a result, you touched on Brooks doesn't trust the freshman. So now, you're not cutting as hard. You're not committed to the set. There's a lot of indecision. And as a result, turnovers, bad shots.
And I think a lot too, the game has evolved and changed a lot. And I think our post guys need to face up a little bit more. The way the officials call the game, when he hadn't gotten his touches, and when I say Brooks, he can get to the foul line, get his touches on the free throw line by putting pressure on the bigs, by facing up. I think sometimes when he played back to the basket, it bails the defenders out because all they have to do is just stand straight up and make it a tough shot.
To host a player show or appear as a player on a player show, simply create a profile on Fan Media's iOS app or website. Select your teams and make a short intro video on your phone. Show hosts, reporters, former players, and superfans can use our Get Verified feature and make an intro video as well, and our mobile newsroom staff will reach out.